Man, being me is hard work. Being Matthew Patrick 13 on YouTube is hard work. I just have to constantly be Googling, researching for topics on new videos. I have to be researching about Undertale and Smash Bros and all these other games I don't care about so I can get views, so I can keep making money and keep living. It's an honest profession for an honest man. But you know what? Today, I've decided that being honest doesn't matter anymore. So today, I'm just going to make something easy over something controversial so I can get a ton of views. So a friend told me that TF2 was a ripoff of Overwatch or something like that. So I'm just going to Google TF2 versus Overwatch, see what comes up, see how controversial this is. Okay, seems pretty controversial. Seems like a lot of people will make the comparison. Oh, there have been rants. Oh, how many of these videos have been made on YouTube already? A lot. A lot of them have been made. Okay, so after some careful research, I have concluded that Overwatch is amazing. It's just the best game ever. TF2 sucks. I'm gonna make a video about it. Lights, camera, action, baby. Let's go!
Not a lot of games have taken off as quickly as Blizzard's new juggernaut, Overwatch. Only out for 2 months, it's already had itself 10 million players and made literally hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. Everyone, and I mean everyone, seems to love Overwatch. They love its characters, its variety, its lore. When talking about class-based team shooters, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better one. Or would you? And no, we're not talking about Battleborn. Go home, Battleborn. You're drunk. No, I'm talking about the hat-tastic granddaddy of the genre, Team Fortress 2. So can Overwatch overthrow this historic giant that is TF2? Or will enthusiasm for Overwatch be dead faster than Evolve? Yeah, there's a game you haven't thought about in a while. Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, welcome!
I have never heard someone so enthusiastic to make a video on a subject they know absolutely nothing about before. Okay, so yeah, I'm like the 7th YouTuber to make a video about this now, not counting people with less than like 2 views, which is probably gonna be me, honestly. But you know what? I don't care. This video is just, it's so bad. Every single point he makes is either just completely wrong or not backed up by any evidence. And I just felt the need to just completely roast this video. I'm not going to talk about things being cringy in this particular video. I'm just going to talk about the actual logic that he uses. I will be completely 100% logical about this and try to use as little sarcastic humor as possible for the sake of not upsetting anyone. But really the reason I'm doing this is because if I pointed out every single cringy part about this video, we would be here for 3 hours. So let's just get right into it.
Nerf this.
Kaboom indeed, you drunken wretch!
Okay, right off the bat, I have to question some of their choices here. Okay, why would you choose Nerf this as Overwatch's, like, voice line to represent the entire game? It has so many more memorable voice lines, like Heroes Never Die, and you pick Nerf this. Also, I'm about 99% sure that that line you just said from TF2 isn't even said by the demo man, it's said by the spy mocking the demo man. So you used the wrong accent there.
Well, it's only polite to respect our elders, so Team Fortress 2, you go first.
Oh wow, so gracious. Hopefully with this abundance of respect you apparently have, you can respect that I'm about to win this debate in one word.
Let me guess, you're about to say the game's free, aren't you?
Free.
I knew it!
Team Fortress 2 is a free game with no hidden fees. The complete version of Overwatch is $60. Boom! Done. Shut it down. It's over. But in the interest of adding on some additional hurt, consider that Overwatch has microtransactions.
So does TF2. What's your point?
Okay, sure. Overwatch is being sold as a complete game at full price, but that's because it is.
Did you just low-key call TF2 an incomplete game? Really?
Blizzard has said that players will get everything from here on out, including new maps and other updates, all for free.
TF2 does too. What are you talking about?
Oh wow! Updates? Oh Oh, wait a minute. Team Fortress 2 updates multiple times a year with free content on top of the game being free.
Oh, okay, I see where this is going now. Is this entire video intentionally written so that every single argument made misses a key detail and then the next person points out that they missed that key detail so that, like, oh, argument. No, that doesn't work.
And it's been doing this for 9 years. The game was released in October of 2007. That is a lot of service for zero money down.
Okay, does this guy even know what he's talking about, like, at all? TF2 has not always been a free game. It wasn't free until the Uber update in 2011 made it free. It was released in 2007, but for 4 years it cost $20. And there were no microtransactions, but then they added the Manco store in the Uber update, as well as making the game free. So then the game was free on top of microtransactions. Maybe they could have found this tidbit of information if they had done more than 5 minutes of research.
Upfront fees, upfront fees. I see you dancing around the subject. TF2 has microtransactions as well.
Oh look, saying what we're all thinking, because he missed a key point. Now I'm pointing it out. All that means I'm right, and my argument's better than yours. Bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah, for hats, for new weapons, for general character customization, in TF2, you pay for what you want, and you get what you want when you pay for it. In Overwatch, the microtransactions give you a chance to maybe get what you want. It's all a lottery.
This was one of the 2 actually good points that were made in this video.
TF2 has years of hats, weapons, skins, user-generated models. If you want to play as a scout, wearing a Dovahkiin helmet, wielding a giant fish as a weapon, you can.
Actually, you can't, because the Dovahkiin helmet is a heavy-only item. And this is a screenshot from a Gmod video. I should probably just point that out.
And that? It's not even anywhere near the craziest combination available in the game. From aesthetic changes to fully customizable loadouts, TF2 allows complete control over your character's play and feel.
Okay, no, stop the video for a second. Just stop the video. Stop everything. This isn't TF2. This isn't even a screenshot from TF2. This is a picture from Loadout. He probably Googled Team Fortress 2 Demo Man Loadout and clicked the first result because he got a picture of a Loadout character trying to look like the Demo Man from Team Fortress 2. You can't make this up, man.
It would appear as though I am on fire.
Oh my gosh, you were right. I shouldn't have let you talk first because you chose to fixate on the one, and I mean one element where Overwatch loses out to TF2, and that is aesthetics.
You just made a claim that the only place that TF2 is better than Overwatch is aesthetics, and that in everything else, it's inferior to Overwatch. That's a pretty bold claim. Now, what do you actually have to back that up?
So a tip of the cap to you, Demo Man, for your great variety of virtual overpriced caps. But Overwatch wins where it truly matters, and that is gameplay.
Okay, why does it win in gameplay? Please tell us, MatPat.
Tell them.
Oh, nope, looks like we're not getting any reasoning. Also, I'd just like to point out that this video has taken about 2 minutes to get to the part where they actually talk about the games themselves, which is the only point that actually matters at all.
That to the loyal gamers who've been playing TF2 for the past 9 years. The game has stood the test of time.
Stood? Sure, but is now getting replaced. TF2 player numbers have been on the decline since October of 2014, according to Steam Charts data.
Okay, so MatPat has finally chosen to show some evidence. And his first piece of evidence that he displays is that the numbers of TF2 players have been steadily going down since 2014. Well, fair enough. However, there's a reason for that, and that is because Valve has done an absolutely terrible job of updating their game with actual good content since 2014. That's no fault to the game itself being bad. That's just Valve not knowing how to handle their game. So that's not really a valid point against Team Fortress 2 as a team-based shooter. But it is a good point against Team Fortress 2 as a commercially successful game. Okay, moving on.
And numbers since Overwatch's release in May have reached an all-time low for the game. So it looks like all those loyal gamers might be jumping ship, and honestly, who can blame them?
Okay, MatPat, I respect you. I respect you as a YouTuber. You put a lot of effort into these videos. You obviously put a ton of effort into editing all this stuff, even though you don't. It's mostly your editor. But, I mean, you worked hard enough to hire an editor. You're obviously very passionate about what you do. I respect that. However, You have a fan base full of kids. Kids who will determine the future of the market of gaming, who will choose what to buy, and you are influencing them all with your opinions. So when you say that TF2 players are just jumping ship because the game is bad, then you are making an impression that TF2 is just that bad to all these people watching this video, and you're just hurting TF2's future because of it. Now, I wouldn't point this out if that was actually a valid point that you just made. However, you intentionally left out a detail that about a week after Overwatch was released, the player numbers for TF2 went back up to normal. And you made this video way after that happened, so there's zero excuse for this.
Overwatch is a true team-based shooter, where teams need to be made of a diverse set of heroes and actually work together to succeed in the game. The end goal is always completing your objective, be it moving a vehicle across the map or defending a certain position. Team Fortress is also objective-based, but features things like kill-death ratios and rewards for dominating the enemy, stats and achievements that are directly tied to killing the opponent repeatedly. This makes it much less appealing to play as, say, a healer or other support character, since they're not as likely to get impressive numbers in those areas. And likewise, it increases the likelihood that offensive players will go rogue.
Times 10 mod, nice. I'm not even sure if he knows that that's really the times 10 mod. He might just think that's what the demo man is actually like.
Heading out onto the map solo to boost these things up for themselves. The developers of Overwatch have gone on record saying that they actively avoided including stats like that in the game for exactly that reason, to make the team element the focus.
Okay, so this entire part of the video is just a train wreck. Overwatch and TF2 are both team-based, class-based shooters with objectives and classes, and each team in both games has to be made up of diverse set of heroes, of classes, to be able to succeed.
In other words, in an ironic twist, Overwatch does Team Fortress better than Team Fortress. 12 maps, again in 2 months after release as opposed to 9 years, but it's quality over quantity. Whereas you brag about having 100 maps, most of which are from the community, mind you, which is not a bad thing, but Overwatch's characters are just more mobile.
Okay, shut up. No, really, shut up. Okay, I know I said I'd be logical and not emotional in this video, but he did not just seriously go there. Let's compare the mobility between Overwatch and Team Fortress 2. Genji is probably the most mobile hero in the game. He can double jump, climb walls, and do this to get just about anywhere he wants to be at any given moment. Pharah can do this. Soldier 76 can sprint very edgily and do a really wimpy rocket jump. Tracer can do this. And this. Press E to teleport. McCree can do things like, Hanzo can climb walls. Brett has a single sticky jump on an 8-second cooldown.
Let's see you get past this.
Grappling hook, 12-second cooldown. Literally just no clip. Look forward and press shift to rocket jump. Okay, I admit this is actually pretty cool. Well then. Out can run faster back into battle, on average, faster than both Tracer and pre-nerf Speed Boost Lucio. And he has a ridiculously good double jump that goes really far and covers a lot of ground. Pyro has a detonator jump that still has more vertical and horizontal length than Soldier 76's rocket jump. The Demo Man can easy mode completely jump across the entire map. The Heavy has by far the most mobility options out of any class in the game. With the right loadout, an engineer can even do stuff like this. As you can see, the Soldier has almost no mobility options whatsoever. The Medic, Sniper, and Spy don't have any options, but they can still do stuff like this.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
the point is, TF2's mobility is much higher than Overwatch's, and for him to make a claim that it isn't just shows how ignorant and stupid he is.
They can roll, they can fly, teleport, use grappling hooks.
They can also do literally all of those things except roll in TF2, and rolling in Overwatch isn't even a mobility option.
With apologies to Freddie Wong, there's no need for convoluted rocket jumping in Overwatch.
What does convoluted mean? It takes time and skill to learn. You can't just do it and immediately be good at it the first time. You have to keep trying and trying until you finally get that jump you've been practicing. And then once you do that, then you have to go back and learn other jumps, and then you have to go into an actual match and do it there. And then, once you finally succeed, it actually has a payoff and it feels like it was worth something. You don't just press shift.
And the great thing is that this increased
That's a funny joke, dude. I get it. I get it. You take damage as well from your own rocket blast because
mobility means Overwatch's characters are much better equipped to use more of the levels, explore the verticality of those levels, and try out different strategies that TF2's more limited characters just don't have open to them.
And since this point is wrong, it's completely obsolete and meaningless.
You know what isn't open in Overwatch? Community servers. And that means that the community won't be as active within the game, which is a total bummer. Unlike in TF2, overhypers, Overwatchers won't be creating their own unique modes, skins, hosting their own events on their own servers. They can't do any of that stuff, and we know just how much the community has done for TF2 over all these years. This game was a meme machine. You think you could beat that? Nope.
Okay, first of all, there's more to the TF2 community than just memes. There's like really high quality, well-made animated videos. There's like voice acting, animations, people playing the game competitively, all sorts of good stuff. Also, if you're just looking for memes, I'm pretty sure Overwatch has plenty of those.
Again, it may be coming, and I wouldn't doubt the strength of the Overwatch community either, my friend. Cosplayers are out in force already. Blizzard is actively policing porn of these characters that's been popping up online. Not that I would know from any sort of personal experience.
Did you actually, legitimately, just use cosplay and porn as the reason that Overwatch's community is more active than TF2's? Honestly, I'm just depressed now. Let's see how long he drags out this really in bad taste, terrible joke.
Oh yeah, Matt, don't worry about it. We're not gonna check your search history or anything like that.
I read about it. Swear.
By the way, most of that stuff, made in Source Filmmaker.
You're using the fact that porn is made in Source Filmmaker as leverage for TF2.
But don't try to distract me with titillating tidbits.
Stop.
Before we get away from the whole map issue, let's say you don't like a certain map, one of the 12 that there are.
Haha, typical scrub hates choke point maps.
If that map comes up in matchmaking, you're stuck playing it. Outside of leaving it or convincing your whole team to try and exit with you, you're gonna have to play it twice in fact. Team Fortress 2, on the other hand, uses a server system on the PC. These servers are hosting specific maps and modes, or rotations of maps and modes, and players can join whichever ones that they want. That way, they can find any set of servers that they really enjoy, stick around for as long as they'd like, and move to a different server whenever they feel like doing something else.
And this, finally, is the second of two only good points in this entire video.
On top of that, TF2 just has more modes to pick from. That includes Team Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, and a PvE Horde mode in Man vs. Machine. With this server system, there's just more on offer for a more robust game. With customization, there are tons of different ways to play.
I get it, that's your big argument.
Okay, so saying, I get it, that's your big argument, in response to a good argument automatically makes that argument completely invalid and deflects any damage your side takes from the goodness of the other argument. No, that's not how arguments work. That's just how this stupid video works. This video is entirely controlled by MatPat's mind. None of it is controlled by the actual fabric of reality.
But here's the thing. Though you can't customize loadouts just yet, Overwatch's emphasis on characters countering other characters means that it's gonna stay fun for a whole lot longer.
Pyro counters Spy. Spy counters Engineer, Engineer counters Pyro, as well as Scout. Scout counters Heavy, Heavy somewhat counters Pyro, Sniper counters Medic. I'm probably missing a lot.
Because the core mechanic of the game is getting good with multiple characters and switching when the situation demands it. Need to stop some turret fire? Well, just call in Winston. Want to get vertical for a while? Call in Pharah. And even within a particular class, there's a lot of variety.
Your point is irrelevant.
Just look at the differences between Mercy and Lucio. Both are healers, but do the job in different ways. If you want hardcore focused healing, then you clearly go with Mercy. If you want less healing output, but you want to get as many people as quickly as possible, well, that's when you hit up Lucio.
If you want hardcore focused healing, go Medic. If you want overall team healing, go Engie and place a dispenser. If you want hardcore lots of damage, go Demo Man. If you want to be able to pick and get kills better, go Soldier or Scout. The same goes for TF2. None of these points hold any merit whatsoever.
Are Overwatch's heroes a bit more rigid in their playstyles? Admittedly, yes they are. But there are currently 22 characters in Overwatch, with more on the way compared to your 9.
Yeah, 9 classes who all have 3 weapons that can be swapped out for like 17 different replacement weapons for each slot on each class, for a total of like 400 something weapons.
And the constant need to hop between them more than makes up for the fewer game modes and less flexible characters. And it's also important to note that none of them are a clone. We don't have any Links, Young Links, and Toon Links here, ladies and gentlemen. Each and every character feels unique.
This is getting redundant at this point, but just like TF2.
You want to play as a female Russian bodybuilder? Well, guess what? You can. You want to play as a Japanese cyborg ninja? Well, guess what? You can. Plus, in a time when gamers are more accepting than ever to play different characters, Overwatch embraces diversity. While the characters in TF2 may be from all across the world, outside of the Demo Man and maybe the Pyro, they're all white males.
A really good friend of mine who happens to be female really enjoys playing TF2, has about 1,500 hours in it, and is better than me. And I'm pretty good. I can rocket jump pretty consistently through like medium skill level jump maps, and she's still better than me at the core game. So your argument about that somehow making the game less accessible to minorities and girls is just stupid. And also, you really just pulled that card.
Overwatch, though, literally has a grandmother who snipes medicine into your body. That is equal opportunity, ladies and gentlemen.
The funny thing is that they actually kind of took the idea of Ana from the Crusader's crossbow in TF2.
And lastly, let's face it, but ult moves are a ton of fun.
Sure, but as fun as it may be to wreck shop with Reaper's Death Blossom, there's always going to be a Widowmaker with Infrasight or someone else ready to counter it. More characters, more abilities means more opportunities to mess up the balance.
In terms of individual class balance, Overwatch beats TF2 by a mile. The Demo Man is by far the most theoretically powerful class, with the Soldier and the Scout kind of tying for second place, and everyone else just being underneath that.
And you see it already with tiering lists in competitive play. Tanks are just too OP right now.
Oh, this is hilarious. Okay, tanks are in the top of the tier list because they need to be picked in order for your team to win, not because they're OP. Because if there's not a tank on your team, you're going to lose. So therefore, tanks are high on the tier list because they almost always need to be on your team in order for you to win. Therefore, they're a high-tiered character. That's what a tier list is. It's like, should I pick this character? That doesn't mean tanks are OP right now. You're so stupid, dude. Stop talking.
Reinhardt, Zarya, Diva, Roadhog, all 4 of these tanks, all 4 dominating the top 2 tiers in competitive play. I mean, how often have you started a game, gone up against the opposing team, and seen that they have 3 Roadhogs?
Never. Like, that literally never happens. And even if it did, everyone go Reaper or Widow. Easy counter.
What else do you do other than sigh, groan, and face roll the keyboard?
What?
It's not fun. TF2's modest roster of 9 might not be hundreds deep like other popular franchises such as League of Legends, but it's a finely honed stable of characters which offer a fair, consistent gameplay experience.
I know I'm on TF2's side here, but at the moment, no, it's not. Valve has completely ruined this game. It's not balanced at all.
You say TF2 is more balanced, and yet Overwatch's smaller team size per match allows for more strategically constructed teams compared to the massive battles of TF2.
Competitive mode. And also, I love how the 1 second of gameplay you chose showed you missing a really easy shot on a medic and shooting a wall instead. Good job.
With too many players on the field, it just becomes bedlam. But with Overwatch's team sitting at 6v6, it makes each player's character choice matter.
Okay, at this point, he's just repeating himself and all his bad points. So every time he does that, I'm just not even going to mention it. I gotta go to bed sometime.
And speaking of skill, the need to master not just one character, but multiple characters in order to be successful in this game means that it has a higher potential skill ceiling for the hardest of hardcore players.
Deadeye comes in, Graviton soon from both sides. What a weird situation here. Both teams getting sucked in by Gravity. Soon gets himself two, not only two, but 2 tanks. The head of Artier also falls by the wayside as Skipjack finding Drakius. That's going to be enough to force Dignitas back. And now they're running out of time.
Page is starting to get himself some kills. Will take down Nevix as well. So working out well. But the payload's moving its way around. You can see Zapray gets in. But this is Linksa doing some serious work. Gets himself, well, effectively the quad kill. Toxkin stole the final kill marker. Going to come up on top there. May even get himself a 5th on soon. He's just going to force him away. Down you go. Linksa absolutely rocking the Winston.
I think the point has been made. This next part of the video is actually pretty decent. They trade back and forth with decent points, so I won't cover it. If you want to watch it, watch the actual video.
Closing arguments. Team Fortress 2 may be a team-based shooter, but the individual players on the team have always been of the utmost importance, meaning that they can customize their appearance.
He used the loadout screenshot again.
They can customize their loadout. They can customize their gameplay.
This doesn't even make any sense. The individual players on a team are of the utmost importance because they can wear hats and use different guns.
In Overwatch, if you're grouped up with a team who doesn't know what they're doing or who refuse to communicate, you may in fact lose through no fault of your own. Overwatch takes power away from the skilled players who in games like TF2 could rightfully carry a match. And that's just not fun.
Good point ruined because he's talking about competitive environment TF2 with ×10 mod in the background.
Considering all that in mind, most of all, vote for the original. The art style, the team-based gameplay design, the characters like Torbjorn and Tracer, who are very similar to the Engineer and the Scout, using comics and animated shorts to deliver characterization and lore in a very similar fashion to which TF2 used comics and their Meet the Team series years before. In so many ways, Team Fortress 2 stood on its own 9 years ago, and it stands on its own today, while Overwatch seems to have borrowed quite a bit from the successes of its predecessors.
I mean, this is a solid point in a plagiarism case, but we're talking about which game is better here.
Oh, and also, TF2's free.
Cool.
Sure, Overwatch may have borrowed from TF2, but it's not like it's hiding that fact. Overwatch is a love letter to all of gaming. Soldier 76 is straight out of Call of Duty. D.Va is Titanfall. Pharah is Metroid. To me, these sorts of references just make the game more fun. And now couple that humor with mechanics that actually reward you for smart team-based combat.
Like TF2.
Matches where you must consistently jump across multiple characters and classes, and fixed teams where you're not going to be thrown onto the enemy side if someone suddenly decides decides to leave,
Competitive mode.
and you have yourself a game that's accessible enough for beginners, but sophisticated enough to be competitive on the esports level.
Age is starting to get himself some kills. We'll take down Nevix as well. So working out well, but the payload's moving its way around. You can see Zapray gets in, but this is Linksa doing some serious work.
Plus, there's no ammo boxes, which to me is always a big perk.
Scrub.
And best of all, the game is literally only 2 months old, meaning that it's only going to continue to refine itself and improve as the roster expands, play modes broaden, and maps begin to roll out. The biggest advantage Team Fortress had in this debate was the extra time that it's had to grow and evolve.
Because the TF2 guy didn't talk about the game itself at all. He just talked about how, oh, we have community servers, the game's free.
But there's little doubt that it's now time for that torch to be passed. Overwatch is quite frankly the TF2 of the next generation of gaming, the very beginning of something incredibly special.
And it's finally over. And both of their closing arguments were about 90% opinionated and almost no facts or evidence. Okay. So in conclusion, this entire video only had 2 good points, both of which were from the TF2 representative, and he didn't even know what he was talking about. So, just conclusion, MatPat, I love you, okay? You're a nice guy in real life. But please stop attacking games and franchises and genres that you know nothing about for the sake of ad revenue. It's getting really old. Okay, so it's finally over. I spent a lot of time editing this, so please just at least send the link to a friend so this gets more than 1 view. If you don't want to do that, then just like it and leave. I don't care. Just dislike it. Do something. See ya. Peace out.
Nerf this.
Shut up!